obviously the Dieter Roth estate is just the Dieter Roth collection, works of another artist who spent most of his life in Iceland, and I felt that although a gesture like bringing the collection of TBA21 to Iceland was significant as a gesture of solidarity during these difficult times, the Dieter Roth collection and estate is somehow much more important and symbolic, because he is like the resident artist that has moved to Iceland during most of his life. And it's a very emotional thing for the Icelandic people to get these works of art back into their country, where many of them were created before they were exported to Switzerland. So after that, I felt like, what happens if you create the idea of a Schaulager? Because the Schaulager concept was actually coined, the phrase was coined by Dieter Roth, and he obviously developed this idea further with the Hoffmann Roche collection in Basel. Oh, please. This is a very interesting way of installing art in terms of you do not over-exhibit or over-curate. You create a kind of halfway house between museum and storage, where visibility of the artworks is the essential part, not how they're installed. And you don't rotate exhibitions all the time. So it's also something that becomes more economic and affordable for more a private collection like the Hoffmann was, is, and mine would be, and the Dieter Roth collection. But the fear I have of any institution or any type of museum model, however you try to recreate a new format or something that's more dynamic, because what was it that said that museums are actually cemeteries above ground? And this idea that everything that becomes institutionalized dies a rapid death, and that the dynamic of art is immediately lost. So we were sitting together with Nina, who I've worked with for quite a few years, doing projects in Iceland, and she has a reputation of really getting things done, and has an incredible amount of energy, and she's also very beloved by artists in Iceland, which is an important part of, I think, the TBA21's reputation of having very positive and very creative relationships with artists and supporting artists in a very positive way. She's the director now of the Living Arts Museum, which is an artist collective also in Iceland that supports all types of residencies of artists coming in from abroad, and of course representing most of Icelandic artists, living artists. So she was a natural partner to come into this project and work together with us to keep alive something that otherwise might slip into the institutional model and sort of get rather boring and dead. So to keep things alive, that was the...
Yeah, because the Living Art Museum is like most places that are contemporary art based and have been in Iceland are just around, for example, obviously the national municipal museums. And like Dani was saying before, because of the smallness of things, everything in Iceland is very interwoven, so even King and Pan and little other artist-run initiatives have everybody from it have also gone through the Living Art Museum, because the practice has gone on for 30 years. And this is a very living organism where we see that we always changing, and definitely could bring a lot of life to a project like this. Having a collection, as we do all in gift from artists, it would be quite interesting to bring that also into this
Yeah. Because what you're planning, I understand, is really not just alone, not just putting a collection in a different place. It's something much more productive, I guess, because that's also what your institutions become known for, not just for collecting. So many institutions and wealthy people and foundations do. It's all about creating new work also. And I think it would be interesting to think about what the Living Art Museum and this new initiative could do together. We have one more person who's not visible in the room, but who I think is with us, Hans-Ulrich Obrist, who came up with the title for this discussion. Hans, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
How is Spain? Can you hear me?
Greetings from Arco. I'm so sorry, is the acoustics okay?
It's not great, but I think we can. You came up with the title, The Fun Palace, which I guess is from Cedric Price, no?
Yes, and Francesca and I had a conversation, and I mean, what we all share, I think it's enthusiasm for Iceland and for the extraordinary art scene and literature scene and music scene in Iceland, which we've all, I think, been so fascinated by, and which for me has been important ever since I went there for the first time in the 90s. And I think one of the things which I found was interesting about Francesca's idea of a new institution is his idea that maybe allows us to think of what type of institution in the world still remains unrealized. And somehow the great unrealized project is certainly Cedric Price's Fun Palace from the early 60s, which has somehow shown us ways beyond objects. I mean, from the truth that the art institution can be or should be a time storage, so it's about memory, but it's also about thinking the future, it's also about the laboratory. And I think we've got a lot of focus in the last 10, 20 years on many, many new buildings which are repositories of objects, but there hasn't been so much an emphasis really on what could be the laboratory for the 21st century, where the future is start. And there might be also be something the great Abigail Boetti always told me in our earlier conversations, where he always said that as an artist, he's always invited to do the same thing, or he's invited to do a museum show, a Kunsthalle show, a gallery show, sometimes a Biennale, very rarely Documenta, and then every now and then a public commission. So it's an extremely limited roster of possibilities, and as an artist, Boetti told me, he wanted to do so many other things, which within the given parameters of existing art institutions is not possible. And that really is the Fun Palace. Cedric Price's idea of the Fun Palace, which he developed actually and structured with a dialogue with John Lindwood between 61 and 74, was really the idea of a public space, an interdisciplinary, multi-purpose complex of theatre for art, for all kinds of cultural projects. And Cedric proposed a building that would not last forever. And I think that that's an important aspect of this idea, that an institution can have a limited lifespan. He wanted it to be for 20 years, and then one would have to rethink if maybe the parameters of that are still right, could also disappear. So the idea of eventually the Fun Palace disappear and being replaced by something which will be more urgent in 20 years. And these conversations with John Littlewood, the theatre producer, led to a very flexible structure. It's almost like a large mechanistic shipyard on which, depending on changing situations, many structures could be built from above. So the idea is actually that the building could be altered whilst it is occupied. It wouldn't be a prison one had to cope with. It would be the opposite. It would be a place which could always reinvent itself. And for Price, it was a loose pattern which would actually allow the user, the curator, the artist to be free of he or she would want to do next. So a kind of a responsive building really, which would respond to the necessity of connecting disciplines and different practitioners in their changing parameters. And so the Fun Palace was actually developed in the 60s. It remained unrealized and in some kind of way had really to do with this idea of going beyond the sphere of pooling knowledge, bringing together art, literature, theatre, architecture, sometimes something which plays such a big role in Iceland, the whole art scene is so much connected to all the other arts, music and literature mainly. So for Price, the Fun Palace was the idea of a science playground, it was an art playground, facilities for producing, theatre for production, post-production, for TV programs, and also craft area, places for making practical, but also utterly completely impractical things. Active participation was conceived in multiple ways, and there were also quiet places, zones of silence, and maybe places to actually look quietly at art and also to see films. That was all part of it. So somehow for Price it was really the idea of activities designed for the site, always at any time being experimental, and the place itself would be expandable and changeable. The organization of space and the objects occupying it should on the one hand challenge the participants' dexterity, on the other hand allow a flow in space and time in which passive and active pleasure is provoked. That's how Cedric defined the Fun Palace in one of our many conversations. Now the Fun Palace is unrealized, but what one can visit is actually one of Cedric Price's very few existing buildings.